let's talk about your boy, Penn Griffey, Bryson Tiller. He dropped an album called Anniversary. What do you think about it?
Oh man, I'll try to be brief. I'll try. Uh, Bryson Tiller drops his what I would say long-awaited album. You know, he's one of those guys that doesn't really drop a whole lot of music, and unfortunately, that is sometimes a bad thing, but also it can be a good thing, right? Like I feel like when you don't overload the customers with music, it builds the anticipation, it builds the momentum, it gives people that anticipation that they need to go click on your album and listen to it. However, um, I feel like Bryson Tiller is regressing. Um, I feel like the momentum that Bryson Tiller had in the past, I would say 2 years ago, before he dropped his last album, uh, it's kind of come to a halt for me because while I didn't think his last album was that great, as a matter of fact, I'm blanking on the name. Do you remember the name of the album, his last one? I
Shoot.
can't remember, but
That is a good question. I got
anyway, yeah, look for it. And but anyway, I remember before that album dropped, there was a lot of hype, and I feel like it was not received as well, at least by me, as well as I believe I should have received it. I was expecting him to come a little bit more with his, some of the same sounds he was giving us on Trap Soul. However, he went a little left where he was kind of being a little bit more poppy, if you remember, like
by the
on
way,
these drop.
the album's called True to Self, by
There
the
you
way.
go, true to self. He kind of kept it a little. He kept it true to himself, but he also went a little pop on this album. However, I feel like his production is lacking. You know, coming off the heels of what we just talked about with 21 Savage, I feel like again production is everything, man. It's everything. I'm tired of not mentioning that alongside of the artists that we love, right? The artists that we talk about on a regular basis. You know, it's funny to me how the artists always get to shine, but yet the producer never does. And to me, Bryson Tiller is a prime example of the opposite of what I said about 21 Savage, in that production can sometimes be your downfall when it's not good enough. I think what Bryson Tiller does is he tries to bring you nostalgic sounds and nostalgic feelings from the 90s, where the music was much more intimate in terms of R&B. It was much more pure. You know, you could feel the emotions in every record. And while I do think he pulls it off on a few songs on this new project Anniversary, I feel like the majority of these songs just they fall a little flat to me. And I'm saying that mainly because of the production. Like Bryson Tiller, he flat out sounded boring to me on majority of these songs. It was like listening to someone tell me about his life, but I don't care. And I shouldn't feel that way about Bryson Tiller. Like he has shown to me that he's a better artist than that. And so with as I said, I'm going to be brief with this. In closing, what I will say is that this album was average. Like for him to go away for over 2 years since he dropped his last project, if I'm not mistaken, and drop this, no. No. That's unacceptable. I'm sorry, unacceptable. And we deserve better from that. And listen, these artists know. They know, and they listen to their fan base, and they listen to the feedback, they listen to the criticism. I firmly believe Bryson Tiller knows this is not his best work. I firmly believe he knows this is not it. Kind of reminds me of Nav when Nav dropped the album before the last one he dropped, where he openly came out and said, yeah, that album was not it for me. I was rushing it. You know, there was a lot of things that I wish I could have did better. I believe that if Bryson Tiller ever does an interview, which he does not do interviews, but if we find out anything that is in Bryson Tiller's head, he is going to tell us something very similar to that. And this is not my best work. That's how I feel, man. And of course, I'm guessing, and it's my opinion. But overall, man, this album is average to me. So I would give it about a C. What'd you think about this, man?
Hmm. I think you made several valid points. Um, but I think it's deeper, man. I really do think it's deeper than some of the stuff that you said. First and foremost, I want to say this. Bryson Tiller's True to Self album was actually one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast. It was something that pushed me to want to do the podcast. If you remember, we used to go back and forth on whether that album was good. We used to go back and forth on, what was the top songs off of it. And it really was a topic of discussion because his first album was so good and it seemed like he was kind of lost as an artist on that second album, right? Um can we just be real? Like, this is ill-advised wise guys. Can we just be honest? Maybe we were wrong about Bryson Tiller as an artist. At the time that he first came out with Don't and Exchange, those were two songs that were really dope. And they just went along with the climate of hip hop at that time. Like, we wanted more Drake. And we wanted a different version of Drake. Drake's persona and Drake's standing in hip hop didn't quite match the heartbreak persona that he was trying to give off. So Drake was really good at making heartbreak music, but he just didn't match that persona when you meet him in person. In 2016, Bryson Tiller matched that exact persona of a dude that doesn't mind being vulnerable. He thinks he's tight, but women get the best of him. He matched the persona, so it was intriguing to hear songs like Don't, Exchange. Well, it's not 2016 anymore. And since then, there are a bunch of people that are just like Bryson Tiller in the hip hop industry. There are a bunch of people that are making more transcending heartbreak music. I mean, go back and look at Machine Gun Kelly. Go look at Black Bear, right? These are white guys that I always tell you, I'm like, I love these dudes as artists because what Black Bear has done is made transcending heartbreak music. Heartbreak music I've never heard before. Go look at Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd's over here making transcending heartbreak music. In 2020, your heartbreak songs can't sound like what Bryson Tiller is making anymore. And it won't slap with people. Remember that conversation we had earlier yesterday? We said, I told you his music is good, but it doesn't slap. It's not impactful anymore.
It's not impactful.
And so I think Bryson Tiller had a very good 2016, but I didn't think he had a good 2017. I didn't think he had a good 2018. I didn't think he had a good 2019. I don't think he's having a good 2020. We have to start asking ourselves, is Bryson Tiller's style of music making resonating with people anymore? Because it's good music. Not a single soul can listen to this album and say the music is bad. It's not bad. It's just not resonating with people anymore. And I'm never going to call him a bad artist because I think he's versatile. I think he's good. I love how he opens up in his music. But I do think that his style is not translating well to 2020. With that being said, I mean, I thought some songs are pretty dope on there. Drake had a feature on there. We've been waiting on Drake and Bryson Tiller, right, to drop a song together for years now. He had a feature on there. I thought that song was pretty dope. But for the most part, I just feel like it was just blah. It was just, it didn't resonate. It didn't resonate with me.
Yeah, for me, I got two songs that I really took away from this album that I thought were different and had a little bit of flair and has replay value to me personally. And it's Next to You, which is the last song on the album, and Sorrow. I really love those two songs.
Sorrow was dope.
Those two songs are dope. Like, you
Good,
know, and if
good picks.
like those were my takeaways. That and it really all the other ones I can really do without, to be honest with you. But you make some valid points as well about Bryson Tiller, right?
I mean, you
So
never.
people just need to really start asking themselves, is his style outdated? Is he not improving as an artist? Is he not
Good
picking the
questions.
right production on his beats? What is it about him that you like? Because like you said, you can go look around. The landscape is very vast. There's plenty of artists that do what he does. We're not about to sit here and act like he's unique because he uses samples, right? I get it. That's his style. But come on, man. I'm not really feeling this album like that. And
I
like
mean,
you said, I want to be fair as well, because you're right, man. I am not sitting here and saying the music is trash. I'm not sitting here and saying the music is low quality. No, absolutely not. This music is good, and it's average at best. I'm sorry, at least. It's at least average. I would not say it's trash, but does it do more than just what it was, I guess, supposed to do? And I think for the most part on this album, no, it didn't really hit a whole lot of marks. It was just
and
all right.
I mean, I will say this, and you know what gets Bryson Tiller a lot of wins? Like, that's a cool ass dude. Bryson Tiller's a cool ass dude. He gets so much wins because he's just cool. Like, you look at him, like, I remember, I'll never forget, he did a BET performance of Exchange. Most people have people in the background, like dancers, and most people have nice little background sets. All it was him in a hat, couldn't even see his face, him just singing in front of the crowd, not moving, not dancing, just singing. And I remember saying to myself, this is a cool ass dude. And I think Cool has been able to get him pretty far as an artist. But for somebody like us, like people like us, at a certain point that wears off, and I got to actually start listening to the music, and I got to start seeing if you're progressive as an artist. And I just don't see progression from him as an artist. And for somebody as talented as him, I should not be saying the things that I'm saying right now about him. But I got
One
trust in him. I mean, we'll see.
1,000%. I think that's a good cap on the combo. Plus, we got to speed things up. I got to take my dog out. He got to piss. And yeah, anyway, let's make this quick. Let's move on. Shall we?